Okay, are we in a buyer's market or are we in a seller's market or a balanced market? It has definitely changed over the last month or two. We're going to tell you all about it and the information to support it. Stay tuned. Billy DRURY, the old man stuck in a young man's body. How are you this morning?
Lovely introduction. Good. Thank you. Hope you're well too. The fingers out.
Gold fingers out.
Yeah, we got some big news to cover this morning. There's definitely been a shift. Last month, it's crept up on us. It's crept up on people on the market as well. You know, if you're running a 4-week campaign and haven't sold, if you have not met the market on price, the market is not meeting you over time. So it's critical. It's a critical first 2 weeks to sort of hear the market on price and feedback and, you know, act accordingly.
So, Billy, you're a bit of a pro now, 7 years in real estate.
Yes, it's true. This is year 7 in December.
Yeah.
I know.
How has it been changing since you've been operating?
Look, I don't want to make it doom and gloom. We're in a great market, to bring it back to current times. But last 7 years, I'm now talking. I had an appraisal last Friday. Had a meeting with a lovely lady who bought in 2021. That was sort of the peak of the market back then, around September, October, and now coming into maybe repositioning, and prices have caught up actually since that spike. So we're in a good place right now. But what we're talking about this morning is stock levels, how they've considerably changed in the last 8 weeks.
And I was on a bus yesterday from the city out to Newport, and there was 18 people on the bus. And so I was after a couple of drinks, I was reading suburb reports on every suburb that we went through as the trusty real estate agent. What I noticed in going through the open data, like, because we have access to amazing information as real estate agents, the most powerful piece of information that we use is RP data. So it gives us analytics on every single suburb. Billy, days on market.
Yep.
Days on market has exploded, as in. And then in the bus, people saying, "What is days on market?" Man, I'm glad you asked. It's from when a property is listed to when a property is actually sold. It's measured on every property that hits the market and every property that sells, and there's an average day per suburb. Now, when I was going through Newport as opposed to DY, for example, or other suburbs, it was getting towards 60 to 70 days on market for Newport. I haven't seen that in probably 5 or 10 years.
Yeah, and it does change. And we're going to talk about a 2-speed market in a moment and what we mean by that, because we've almost got micro markets on the Northern Beaches, both postcode and also price point. So what could be happening in the same suburb could vary depending on price. And from suburb to suburb.
Even if you've got the information at hand, it doesn't really mean much unless you've got a yardstick. So I was talking with some clients on Saturday in an appraisal, and we were talking about the amount of properties on the market meant absolutely nothing to them. But then when I gave them the yardstick of, okay, well, this is what it was a year ago and 6 years ago, and in a hot market, in a cold market, they were like, "Oh, wow, that's pretty interesting." Oh, you got it there.
I've got it here. I mean, this is the number we're talking about. So this is just the Northern Beaches, realestate.com, as the biggest online portal. This is the number we track. 945 properties, not including any surrounding suburbs. And so that's aggregated all the individual postcodes and put them in one number. So that number, like we see that number
means
drop
nothing
down
to no one until there's someone like you that says,
until we say that number, you know, can be as low as 400 for Christmas, when everyone's withdrawn their properties, sold their properties for the year, and not relisted any new properties for the new year. So that's where we've come from. So it's, you know, it's exploded, it's doubled. You can also see, I like to give this on the map view, because you can actually see where the stock's located. So a lot of it is on the northern end of the northern beaches, you know, sort of north of Mona Bell, Warriewood. You've got obviously a lot of apartment stock on the southern end, so that's why the density there as well. But very little going up, you know, through sort of Beacon Hill going west, and that's where those entry-level price points are for freestanding homes. So it gives you a good lay of the land.
and this is relevant to people in most parts of Sydney, guys. You can actually you can grab that information from realestate.com if you go to the mapping service on realestate.com, and you write your district, not your suburb, but we wrote Northern Beaches as opposed to DY or Collaroy or whatever.
Yep.
So there's more property on the market, guys and girls, in all suburbs of Sydney. There's probably 30 to 40% more. And what I also learned from yesterday is days on market has lengthened. So where it used to be in good suburbs of Sydney, properties used to sit on the market for 20 days on average. That was pretty cool, pretty far, like not rapid, but pretty nice balance, pretty nice market. Now it's going out to sort of in some parts of Sydney, it's going out to 60 to 90. Feel free to ring us and ask us on your suburb. We can tell you, or SMS us. So days on market are longer, more properties on the market. We are now sitting in a
buyer's market. I'm going to try and do this. I know it's not the best share screen. Can you tell me if you can see this all right?
I can see two halves. Can you make that one bigger?
I know. Like that?
Yes. Look at that. Can you get rid of us? Can I make it bigger again if you get rid of us?
I don't think so. I can't actually see us anymore. So I'm just looking at this big
There you
wheel.
go. I just got rid of us.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Okay. What do we got, Bill?
Well, you lead where we're going, pilot, because I'm blind. I can't see anything. But
okay. So guys and girls, there's 4 cycles in the property market. There's the slowdown, there's the boom, there's a recovery, and there's the slump. The slowdown orange, the slump gray, the recovery blue, and the boom green. So why this is relevant is there's different things that happen in different markets there. So as an example, you know, when days on market grows, you know, the property market operates differently. Now, where we are is denoted by on this graph here. Let's have a look. I'm just going to bring up that graph so I can read it.
And I can help with reading it if you need, because I've got that in front of me. You know, typical traits you find in like a booming market, you know, is more buyers than sellers, intense media interest, shortage of tradespeople, property prices increasing rapidly. And then as you sort of move into a slowing down market, you know, that's where it's hot. In a boom, it's both hard to buy, hold, and sell because it's fierce. Slowing down, low rental yields, affordability crisis, rising interest rates, construction prices dropping, high unemployment. So not every one of those indicators, you know, needs to be happening, but these are general insights as to what might be occurring.
Now, if you do want to find that beautiful graph, I'm just putting it up on our social media at the moment, so you can see it on Mark Novak Instagram if you want to find that. But why we're telling you this now is this is super relevant to where we are now.
Yeah,
We can probably come off that screen, sir. Um,
sure.
what at the moment it is now a buyer's market. So you may not feel it, you may not think it, but we are telling you it's the brand new chapter and it's a brand new page of the Sydney property market. We've entered the buyer's market. Days on market are longer. More properties are on than historically. We're sitting in probably in that 20 percentile, that third of when there's a lot of property markers on compared to the third where there's no properties um, on the market compared to the third, whereas it's a balanced market. So we're sitting in that market where it's a buyer's market. So this is a really nice time where the steam's out of there for buyers. You're not paying 20, 30, 40, 50 overs to get properties.
Yeah.
Everything's not auction. If you notice in a seller's market, everything's auction. In a buyer's
Mhm.
market, there's less auctions than ever.
And also, what just a nice time to be transacting overall, though. If you're a seller, quite often you then become the buyer, and there's no point in taking one foot off the stepping stone until you've got a foot on the next one. So I think it's a nice time to be transacting, and we're certainly finding, where the motivations, there really nice deals being put together.
I would probably say the deals that are happening at the moment, you touched on it before, they're essential deals. So people are going, you know what, I've just got to buy it because, whether it's they need that extra bedroom for a child, whether it's they're first home buyers and they've put it off a long way. It's fundamentally underpinned by dollars. Can you actually get the money from the banks to actually to get the loan to purchase the property? And it is a two-speed property market. There's the essential part of the market, which is essential stock, generally under 1.5. That's where the first home buyers and the 5% deposits are. But also that it's in that entry-level homes around in our area, and entry-level homes $2 million. So that sort of essential homes market, or that sub 1.5, they're the two hot ones. The other markets, which is the luxury and the premium end, that's just leveled off. And as a seller, you got to price correctly to get sold.
There you go. I think that covers a cool, essential topic for a Monday morning.
Have a lovely week.
Thank you.
See you, Bill. See everyone.